Splashing in the pool, water in your ear. Summer is the best time of year. Long days and no school, hanging out and trying to stay cool. Meeting your friends at the park, hanging out in the yard until well after dark, listening to the breeze blow through the chimes. There's no better time than summertime. Lemonade, popsicles, chocolate ice cream, sleeping under the fan, having summertime dreams. Flowers blooming, sweet fruit hanging from trees. Butterflies fluttering with the busy bees, the time of year where everything seems fine. Loving life in the summertime. The smell of fresh cut grass, warm sun beaming through stained glass, hot pavement under my feet. No summer is ever complete without fun, friends, and family time. Ain't no time like the summertime. Now summertime is over. You're back in school, seeing old friends and making new ones too, but it's hard to focus because in your mind, returning to school comes too quickly. You need a little more summertime. Thank you. Now the other people who are seasoned like I am, and some who are well seasoned, will remember a place in South Albany called the Cabin in the Pines. Yes. Raise your hand if you remember that. Okay. Raise your hand if you never mind, because that ain't our business. Don't see if you've been there. But I never entered the Cabin in the Pine. My mama used to go in and get skins, and we'd just go on home and leave my daddy in there. But it was a place, and during this time, when the Cabin in the Pines existed, we as people couldn't just turn into the Holiday Inn. We couldn't go to the Hilton and, all the places that we go now. So if you were traveling, you had to either have relatives or friends on your route, or you would seek out the Black-owned hotels. Well, Cabin in the Pines was our Black-owned hotel here in Albany. And before I tell you too much, I'll tell you more in the poem, okay? It's entitled, The Cabin in the Pines. Down in Albany, Georgia, there once was a place, and another time and another space. It was called the Cabin in the Pines. Folk used to go there to have a good time. Within the Pines was also the Key Club. It was located upstairs out of the way up above. You see, this is where men took their other women so folk couldn't see. Because to get in, you had to be a member with a key. That's right. My daddy was a regular at the Pines. When he was not working, that's where we would find him mingling in the club or sitting at the bar. At the Cabin in the Pines, y'all, my daddy was a star. On the weekends, the place would be jumping, the crowd would be live, and the music would be pumping. The dance floor was crowded as folks danced to the beat. We could hear that music up and down the street. Folk would always be dressed to the nines. The men were fly and the women were fine. People came from miles around from many other cities and other towns to swing and sway and have some fun. And when the night was over and done, they could check into the hotel out back, all alone or with whoever they could attract. After the drinks flowed and the music slowed, it would be coming time to go. By then, some interest had arose. Got to find me somebody before they close. It might have been a look in the eye, a stolen touch as one passed by, but you could always surely tell who was going to end up in that hotel. Well, y'all, the Pines is long since gone. It is now a nursing home where many of the former patrons dwell, with many memories and stories to tell of how it was at the Cabin in the Pines, where folk used to go to have a good time. Thank you. I'm going to close with what I always close with when I'm here in Albany. I stand before you, just a kid from Albany, Georgia. Blessed to be born in a city where life was good. I grew up in a pretty little street called Southwood. I was a Flintside Dragon, a River Road Raider, a Golden Tornado, and an ASU Raider. I was taught to say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, and thank you, and please. I learned to fight all my battles on my knees. I was born at Phoebe and went there when I was ill, and I used to love me some fried chicken from Carter's Grill. I played outside until it was dark, spent afternoons in Cheehawk Park. Of course, that was after service at Bethel AME Church, Lord knows, in my mama's house, church came first. Because I was once slim and tall, I was a gayfer girl at the Albany Mall. I appreciate all that I was taught as a youthful matronite debutante. I ate Jimmy hot dogs and read the Southwest Georgian. I left Albany to seek my fortune, although I moved to the big city. I took all that I learned in Albany with me. I love this city so much that I sent my sons to ASU here because I knew they'd get a good education and some love and care. Thankful for my firm foundation that Albany set. It has served me well and not failed me yet. So I'm proud to stand here before you, just a kid from Albany, Georgia. Yeah.